So hello everyone, and this is Shubham Giri. You're watching Vandagiri. So welcome to my channel. If you have yet not subscribed, do subscribe my channel, like it, share it with your friends who are in need. So today's video is gonna be about visa SOP. Now this is quite a underrated document in the visa process. Most of the uh, consultants or agents you have been going through would have been using a same format, and then they will be just filling in your details. If you want to make your visa SOP stand out and not to get rejected just based on that, please make sure you watch this video. Everybody get your fucking hands up. Now, this video will be divided into three parts. The first is the general structure of the SOPs. Second would be the do's and don'ts. Like second would be the do's and third would be the don'ts. So it is structured in these three manners. Now, firstly, we'll be discussing about how to make a visa SOP. So you have applied to an university or a college, and if they require an SOP, you would already be familiar with the process, what is the SOP and how it's been made. What are the key points that you need to include? Now, remember two things. Writing a visa SOP is comparatively very easy because you don't need to get admission out of it. All you need to showcase are certain steps, certain few points that would really change the whole game about your visa SOP. So we have three sort of major parts of a visa SOP. The first is the introduction of yourself. That means who are you, where you're gonna go for your studies, what is the college name, university name, what have you done in your baccalaureate, that means your bachelor's, and if you're from 12th, so how much did you score in 12th and all. So those are the first few steps of the introduction. Now, the second step for a visa SOP is to emphasize on the fact that the university or the college which you have chosen is why have you chosen that university, and why do you see that university a better fit for yourself. So you need to justify this particular question in the second part of your visa SOP. So the first part, your whole introduction, that would be covering majorly 1 or 2 paragraphs, at max 3. Don't make it a long one, like don't make 2 or 3 page SOP, something like that. Just don't do that. At max 2 pages, 500 to 750 words. Don't go beyond 750. It's very lengthy. And still, even if you are going till 1000 words, it's fine. But just make sure that your SOP isn't 2 pages. Now, thirdly, what is the final segment of the whole visa SOP? The second was, why did you choose this university? Why do you see that this particular university is a better fit for yourself? So just answer this. And if you want like a sample sort of thing, I have made already like 2, 3, 4 SOPs, 4 drafts, and I think all of them would be fine. But yeah, I had free time because it's Sunday, so I made 2, 3 SOPs. So if you want, just message me on my Instagram. I will share you the link. Message you with your email ID, because Instagram doesn't allow you to share the documents. Now, if they do, I don't know. Okay, so the final part of the visa SOP is the most important part. That is, you need to showcase that you won't be studying there, you would be studying there, but you won't be a resident. You are not thinking of being a resident to go there and work after your studies. See, most of the people will do that, but you don't need to mention that on your visa SOP, because under the section I-253 is something that they follow. There are some, I would say, strict guidelines regarding this. So if a student showcases, like if their IELTS is low and anything else, and if the visa SOP shows that they would be they are going there to study and then they will be further be a resident there and everything, so it would straight away be rejected. No matter which university have you applied, even if you've got an admit in University of Toronto, if you do this mistake, is sure for a kill game. So these are the 3 particular steps, 3 particular segments of your visa SOP, which you need to include very nicely, very precisely, in a very subtle manner. Not that you just put a line that yeah, this is it and yeah, it's fine. You need to use it in a very subtle manner, that yeah, you would be going for your studies in Canada. When you have completed, you have gained some sort of knowledge and everything that you lacked in your particular country, that is India, like you gain some exposure and everything, then you would be coming back to your country, whatever your country is, even it's India or anywhere else in the world. If you're going for Canada, In fact, even if you're going for any country in the world, the visa SOP, if they ask for a visa SOP, it's the same structure. Now, so these are the three particular segments. So coming to the second part of the video, the do's of the visa SOP. Now, as the structure goes, please make sure you follow that structure. The first thing, like, please make sure your SOP is in this particular 3-step structure. Paras are like, if every section has 2-3 paras, it's good. Make sure that your SOP is between the word limit of 500 to 1000 word at max. I would suggest 750 would be a very good bet to go with. Finally, the do is, please make sure you write that particular line that you'd be coming back to your home country after you have completed your studies. That is a very integral part of your visa SOP. Now, finally, the don'ts. Again, the same thing the first. Let me just put a very, very nice emphasis on the fact that don't ever mention or don't even leave the SOP reader hanging like, is it so that you'll be going or you'll be residing over here? So don't make those points very unclear. Make sure that you write very clean, neat, and in a subtle way that you would be going back to your country. So that is the first and the foremost don'ts that I would say, that don't ever regress the fact that if you don't include this, you'll be still getting the visa. There are cases where people got the visa, but it might just not be yours. Secondly, don't take visa SOP very lightly. Just don't put some random words, the SOP structure with consultant and everybody else is following. Just fill in your details and is it so? Like, it could work for you, but it also couldn't. It's 50, like, even if it's a 10% chance that your visa could get rejected because of this particular single document, which could be made by you very easily, giving 2-3 hours of time, you didn't, and your visa got rejected. So the additional things and everything would be a bit difficult and tricky. So don't ever neglect the fact that visa SOP is a minor thing. So now, if you want my help on your SOP and you want, like, you need to get your SOP written by someone who's experienced enough, because I got into Queen's just because I had a good SOP. I would say that because I had very average profile and everything, but I got into Queen's University. That's another matter I didn't accept because it was 1.5 year course and everything. Then I got into Concordia with a very profile is not that good. My profile is not that good, but still I got into the universities. So if you want that someone who was experienced enough to write SOPs, because I have written roughly like 40-50 SOPs, maybe 20-25, 50 drafted and written 20-25, something like that. So I have put a lot of effort in these SOPs. So if you want to get that checked, or if you want me to write your SOP, kindly message me on Instagram. I'll be very much happy to help you for the process. And yeah, see you guys.